reason that the United States is in the midst of a severe epidemic of opioid addiction is because the medical community began to prescribe opioids very aggressively. And as the prescriptions went up, rates of addiction and overdose deaths went up right along with the increase in the prescribing.
More than 240 million prescriptions are written each year for opioid pain medications, enough for every adult American to have their own bottle. OxyContin, Opana, and Vicodin are among the most frequently prescribed and most commonly abused prescription opioids. These powerful drugs can literally hijack the brain.
The effects produced in the brain by oxycodone and hydrocodone are indistinguishable from the effects produced by heroin. When we talk about opioid pain medicines, we're essentially talking about heroin pills.
It is a very powerful drug. It's a different addiction. The course for opiate addiction is you fall off a cliff. So there's no gentle slope downward with consequences and an opportunity to evaluate what's going on. It is right off the cliff.
With repeated exposure to a highly addictive drug, just about anybody can become addicted.
We're acutely aware of the fact that it's broad and it's not just one subset of the population that's doing it. It's kind of a problem that's affecting all age groups, all races, both sexes. That allows it to become bigger because it affects so many people.
Unlike previous drug crises in the United States, the opioid epidemic impacts rural, city, and suburban communities and touches every socioeconomic group. Opioid addiction is a 50-state epidemic.
Wyoming County is a rural county, population approximately 23,000, very tight-knit, hard-working type communities here. The mountains are beautiful here. I mean, the people are genuine and good people.
Oceana is a close-knit community. They're still good here, but through the years it's progressively gotten worse, and it is getting worse.
West Virginia has been hard hit by opioid addiction. It has one of the highest opioid prescription rates in the country and has one of the highest rates of opioid overdoses and deaths.
The majority of our kids are affected by drugs in their immediate family.
Good morning. Good morning. In our career education class, we've talked about what do you want to be when you grow up?
We know that we have to meet their basic needs before they'll ever reach out to English or math.
We're going to talk to each other, kind of be a sounding board. What does this career really, consist of?
Primarily, we focus on keeping and making our kids feel safe.
Got it?
And learning does take second to that. If they don't feel safe, how can we expect them to learn?
First of all, let me thank you so much for allowing me to come back to beautiful Oceana.
Senator Joe Manchin visited Oceana Middle School in 2011 as a newly elected senator. He came to talk about education and jobs, but the middle school students had other things on their mind.
So when I came down 5 years ago, that's what we were talking about the jobs opportunities. And then there were some students that wanted to talk to me. They wanted to share the life that they were challenged with, living in an area that become truly overrun by drugs.
Chelsea was a 7th grader when she met with Senator Manchin in 2011.
He came to our small community, and the conversation led to the problem with drugs in our community. Oceana is a wonderful town, wonderful people, great place to live, but then there's the drug problem. My mom and dad were divorced when I was in the 6th grade, and it was because of drugs. My dad was in a coal mining accident, and he soon after became addicted to painkillers. And he started putting those medicines before us.
Chelsea was in the audience when Senator Manchin returned to Oceana Middle School in 2016. The senator was hoping to hear more encouraging stories from a new group of middle school students. He didn't.
I think that what is wrong with our community, like the drugs in it. I haven't really seen a change because I don't know how it was like before, but my parents and my grandma and my aunt used to talk how it would be safe at night and you could
Do whatever you want.
you could walk the streets and you wouldn't have to lock your doors and have a doubt about anyone. And now everything is dangerous and you don't want to go outside alone even in the daytime.
It's still that way here. You're still seeing that?
Yes.
My stepdad did them. He beat me and my mom, put a gun to my head's mom and me.
What do he want you all to do? He wants you to take drugs too, or he wants your mom to take drugs, or he was just out of control?
He wanted my mom to take drugs. She wouldn't do it.
Is he gone now? Is he out of your life?
He shot himself because of it after he killed my mom by shooting her up 3 times with Oxycontin. He didn't want a divorce. She did.
How old was your mom?
20. I was 5.
But to have a child tell you that my mother was shot with a needle with oxycodone, and the first shot killed her, but the guy shot her 2 more times to make sure she was dead. For a little 12-year-old girl to tell you that, now think about it. You've seen the horrific effects it's had on your families. You've seen death in your family at a very young age. No child should go through what you went through.
You know, this is life. This is how it is. Many kids don't know anything differently. They don't know that another world exists. You know, to them, this is normal.
I took away from that conversation just as another day.